Good evening and welcome to Skinny Sports Bar and Grill, located at the corner of Huntoon and Gage here in the capital city of Kansas. Coming out to Skinny's tonight, it is the cheeseburger special. $5.49 gets you a cheeseburger and fry. Of course, every single lunch special, Monday through Friday, from 11 to 2, a fantastic cheeseburger and fry. Or you could sub a tot because their tots are delicious here at Skinny's. Just $5.49 here at Skinny Sports Bar and Grill here at the corner of Huntoon and Gage. Jake Levon with you. We'll be talking all things Washburn men's and women's basketball over the next hour here at Skinny Sports Bar and Grill. The Washburn Ichabods will be back in action coming up tomorrow and on Saturday. Tomorrow, 5:30, 7:30 tips. It will be a doubleheader against the Missouri Southern State Lions. And then on Saturday, 1 and 3 o'clock tips against the Pittsburg State Gorillas here for the next two games for the Washburn men and women. We'll talk with head coach, we're actually going to talk with assistant coach Brent Herber today from 5:30 or from 6:30 to 7. I'll eventually get my times right. But right now we welcome in the head coach of the Washburn men's basketball team. He is Brett Ballard, and they are the 8th ranked Washburn men's basketball team. That's right, top 10 team in the country. And Brett, that's where we're going to start off first, because I am always interested in just the process of things a little bit. And I was interested. Washburn was ranked 5th last week. You beat the number 1 ranked team in the nation. That's right. Number 1 goes down. The last time Washburn beat a number 1 ranked team, 2014, they beat Augustana. That was out in Vegas. This is a little different. You go on the road. You beat Northwest Missouri State, a team that had won 74 of their last 75 games. They were 74-1. You beat them on their home field the first time that they had fans. It was a good crowd, the 300 and some that they had. They were loud. They were excited. You win. I'm like, okay, they beat the number 1 ranked team in the country. Then you play the 22nd ranked team in the country in Missouri Western on their home court, and they had a bunch of fans there. Rowdy crowd. You fall first time. I was interested. Where's Washburn going to end up? I know rankings in the top 25 polls don't mean as much for Division II. It's more or less kind of what the AP poll is for Division I. But the regional rankings are always important for Division II. Those are the ones that you care about. You go on the road, you beat number 1, you fall to number 22. I was wondering where you were going to end up ranking, because it's kind of interesting. Do you get credit for beating number 1? Do you end up losing too much credit because you lost to number 22? I thought it was kind of interesting in that situation.
That was quite the lead up to your question there, Jake. I actually heard you guys talking about this on your radio show yesterday. I appreciate that. I was in my truck and I got to dial it in and heard you guys talking about that. So I appreciate the Washburn basketball love. If we beat Missouri Western on Saturday, we're probably ranked number 1 in the country right now. And I talked to my team about that. And I think there's obviously some pros to that. When you're ranked number 1 in the country, it probably means something on some level. Although in the middle of January, does it mean all that much? Not necessarily. Didn't get it done. And I didn't know where we'd fall. I figured we'd say the top 10 just because you lose to a top 25 team on the road. And I know that people ranking don't know this, but you lose one of your best players, Johnny Classing, our second leading scorer a minute into the game.
He played 41 seconds.
So but they don't know that. So I figured we'd stay in the top 10. I don't put too much stock into it, especially this time of year. I told our guys this. Yesterday, Jake, I asked the guys, I said, do you know who has the most wins in Division II basketball right now? And
I know that answer. I know that answer. I'm raising my hand. But go ahead.
But so anyways, and they all looked at me with blank stares. And I thought it was a pretty easy question, given, they all looked at me and I had hoped that they answer questions in their regular classrooms better than they answer this one. But I told them we've got the most wins in Division II, and part of that's that we've been healthy enough to play our games. But that at the end of the day, I'm like, guys, you should be proud of that. And we've won most of the games, obviously, that we've played, and we've still got a long, long ways to go. We got a lot of work to put in. We're really, really beat up right now, really beat up all of a sudden, and we're trying to navigate some guys that are injured right now, and it's kind of hit us all of a sudden. That injury bug's hit us pretty hard in the face all of a sudden, so we're going to have to navigate that probably the next couple of weeks. But proud of what the guys have done so far. Know that the rankings don't mean all that much. I'm happy we're in the top 10. Like I told you a couple weeks ago, last week, it's better to be ranked than not ranked.
It means you're winning.
But I also know that it's the middle of January and a lot of things can happen in this league.
Well, when you look at the last two games, we're going to start with the big victory against Northwest Missouri State. You snapped their 25-game winning streak. You snapped their 39-game home winning streak. And you beat a team that you have played so close. Again, they're 74-1 over their last 75 games. Winners of 2 of the last 3 national championships. They've been rolling. They really, really have. And you go in there, and Washburn has always played them well. You guys, I think, have played them better than any other team in the MIAA for the last 5 years. Of the 11 losses that you've had, 8 of them have been by single digits. And so it's always close, and not a surprise, it's a close game again. But when you end up winning 84-82 in overtime, what's the one thing as that game is progressing that you were really proud of? Because when I look at that game, you can't let Northwest get too far ahead of you, because if they get too far ahead of you, they make their free throws and you just can't come back. And so when they took the lead by 6 late in the first half, I thought, man, Washington just has to weather this storm and find a way to get back, and you did. They never led by more than 6. It was played in a short window. And I always look at coaches as the game is progressing. There's things that stick with you. What stuck with you about that effort going on the road and beating the top team in the country?
Yeah, I mean, we've talked about this, Jake. Northwest has been, elite at the Division II level. They've been the Alabama football, Division II basketball the last 6 or 7 years, and unfortunately, they're in our conference. So we've had some great games with them, some close games. There's no doubt about it that we have played them tougher than anybody else in the league. But we've got to find a way to get those done. And I think that I was proud on a lot of levels, Jake, but probably most proud about the fact that we maintained a level of poise and confidence that you have to maintain when you play Northwest Missouri State. You know that they're going to get some stops defensively, and you're going to have some droughts on the offensive end. You know that offensively they've got weapons, and they're going to go on some 5-0, 7-0, 8-0 runs. And I just thought that even at times when a couple of possessions didn't go our way, I never thought body language changed. I never thought our confidence changed. I never thought our attack mindset changed. A lot of that had to do with Tyler Guyman. I thought that Tyler played extremely well. Johnny Klossing played extremely well and really controlled the paint. But as a group, I just felt like we weathered some storms, which you've got to do when you play a great team. And then the way we responded, Jake, in overtime when, you have the game won in regulation, you don't get it done. You don't play well enough. And to get down in overtime, they make their first 2 threes. We get down, and it would have been easy to fold a tent. And the way the guys responded and fought back from that, I think that also stuck out as well.
You mentioned Johnny Klossing and Tyler Guyman. They were outstanding. They combined for 47 of the 84 points, and they were so efficient. And Tyler Guyman, 2-time now MIAA Player of the Week, for those of you wondering. Yeah, back-to-back MIAA Player of the Week. I don't need to tell you how impressive that is to do with this league, with how many good players are in this league. And he goes for 26, but Johnny Klossing, I think, played his best game as a Washburn Ichabod. 21 points. He had 7 boards, 3 blocks. He was outstanding. And it looked like Johnny was energized. Johnny's not an emotional player, and that's okay. Not everybody is an emotional type of guy. Johnny doesn't seem to be that emotional type of guy, but I've never seen him, do the Hulk Hogan arm flex or the chest bumps or anything like that. But he was doing that. You could tell that for some reason, that performance, and he got off to a great start. How important is that start for Johnny?
Yeah, I think a lot of it, when you're a big guy, Jake, the rhythm that you can get into, a lot of times that's dictated by how well your guards get you the ball. And Johnny hadn't necessarily gotten into a great rhythm in some of our games this year. A lot of that had to do with just him being in foul trouble. But I thought that was a game where he got a lot of good touches and had some space to go to work. And then he just played at great pace and with a great rhythm. And he kind of got in a little bit of a groove. And then as the game went along, you could just see he wanted the ball and good things were going to happen when he touched it. And his confidence grew as the game went along. And I think you realize, man, I could foul a lot of these guys out. The way they were playing the post, which is how they played, and it's a good way to play the post. They wall up and kind of play behind you, and they try to make you shoot tough contested shots. Well, those were going. And he just got a nice groove offensively. Again, he's gotten so much better, Jake, since he's been here on both ends of the court. I mean, he's good for us defensively, too, and he's one of the leaders in the MIAA in blocks every year and all that stuff, too. But it was fun to watch and certainly was a big part of our success, just the way he dictated the points in the paint.
When you look at Johnny's defensive effort, I mean, it's nice to have a guy who's 6'9" and can block shots, and he's gotten much better at it too, going back from last year to this year, straight up a little bit. Jace, again, blocks some good. I mean, Washburn's number 1 in the MIAA in blocks because you got Johnny leading the MIAA in blocks, and Jace is in the top 10. And Jace does it differently. He does it with his athleticism. He just is able to sky up into the air, go straight up and down. That's the rule. And I think officials sometimes penalize Jace for being so athletic that they're like, oh, well, he couldn't do that. You can't jump that high and not touch somebody. But they do it differently. But both of them seem to really have kind of figured out how to block the shot when someone drives in after getting, if they beat a Washburn player at the rim.
When we recruited Johnny, my biggest concern was he is athletic enough. Was he athletic enough to play in MIAA? He had, 6'9", he had good hands. He's a lefty post, which I like. Left-handed post guys are hard to guard because you just aren't
used to it.
Used to that. He had high basketball IQ. He was a good kid. He had a pretty good motor, but he was never a high flyer. And he, laterally, he wasn't elite. And so from the day he got here, we've worked on his athleticism, and I give our strength coaches credit for that. But what Johnny does is, he isn't athletic like Jace. Jace is a big-time athlete. Yeah. He's an elite athlete at our level. But what Johnny does is he does a great job of using his body, being in the right position. And because we can go straight up vertical, like you said, to block shots, he does a nice job of protecting that rim by just being in the right position. He's a position defender. And he gets himself in the right spot to make the defense score through him. And his timing's got better with blocking shots. Shot blocking, some of it's position, some of it's athleticism, and a lot of it's timing. You gotta have the right timing. You've seen some super athletic guys that can't time it up right. They go too early, they're there too late. Johnny and Jace both have a knack of kind of timing up those blocks. And, we're not the biggest team, but I do think for being a little bit undersized, those guys do a great job of protecting our rim.
We're talking with head coach Brent Ballard of the Washburn Ichabods, ranked 8th in the country. They are 8-1 on the year. They'll be in action coming up tomorrow night at Lee Arena. 7:30 tip-off, 5:30, of course, for the Washburn women. And then on Saturday, 3 o'clock tip-off against Pittsburg State. So it's first home games of the calendar year 2021. So that's exciting that Washburn, again, doesn't have travel. They've been on the road the last 2 weeks, down to Tahlequah and then up to Maryville, taking down number 1 ranked Northwest Missouri State, and then falling to Missouri Western. So we'll get to more of the Washburn women's game here at Skinny Sports Bar and Grill. Again, coming out to Skinny's, of course, on Sunday. The Chiefs are going to be in action. Chiefs versus the Browns. Come on out. Skinny will have all of the games here on the TV. Great food, drink specials every single time the Chiefs are in action. And Brett, I do want to get to the Missouri Western game. And Western's a good basketball team. I mean, you got 3 teams in the MIAA ranked in the top 16 right now. That's how good this MIAA league is. And when you fall to Western 74-67, I look at this. Johnny Clausen played 41 seconds. He's your second leading scorer and your second leading rebounder. You shot the ball from deep, 6 of 31, and you're the
Not very good.
That's not good, but you're normally the number 1 ranked team in the MIAA in three-point shooting. You shoot it as a team 40%. You shot it 19%, and you lost essentially by a possession. You're so close to beating the 22nd ranked team on the road with essentially your second leading scorer out, and you didn't shoot it well. That tells me you did a lot of other good things. I know that's not how coaches look at it, but, as the game unfolded and as the game ended, I'm looking at this box score going, I mean, if they just make 3 more threes. If instead it rattled in instead of rattled out because you had a bunch of those, the game's totally different and you win despite all of those variables. As a coach, do you look at it like that? Or as a coach, do you look at it kind of the other way on the things you didn't do?
I think we always in our program lean the other way, Jake, as far as this is a bottom line business, and we tell our guys all the time, especially at a place like Washburn, the moral victories, we're not really in it for that, regardless of the situation. So I definitely think we lean. I listen to some coaches that can spin everything and justify everything, and again, you know this about me. I'm just not necessarily going to do that. That being said, I do think if you would have told me that Johnny wasn't going to play at all and we were going to shoot 19% from three and turn it over, what did we turn it over, 15 times? I would have said we probably were going to get beat by 15 or 20. And so, we couldn't control Johnny. I think that offensively, we got some decent looks. I think we got to learn offensively a little bit that we kind of stood around a little bit too much and try to watch Tyler Guyman go make a play. And that's easy to do when you've got a great player, but we've got to have other guys other than Tyler Guyman attacking. Drew's battling a little bit of an injury, but he wasn't able to do too much. I thought Tyler Nelson tried to do some things, just didn't have his best game. But and I told Jalen Lewis, hey, we gotta continue to have you be aggressive, and he will be. But we didn't play our best game. It was a quick turnaround after playing the number one team in the country. You knew going into it that it was going to be a tough challenge, and at the end of the day, we didn't get it done, and I'm disappointed about that. And it still stings. I mean, we hold on to those ones till you play the next one. But again, I told our team it's not like I think we can learn a lot from it. It's not like it's a bump in the road. We'll learn from it, grow from it, and it's not like we lost to a terrible team. That's a good basketball team.
We're talking with head coach Brent Ballard of the Washburn Ichabods. Again, Washburn 8-1 on the year, getting set to take on the Missouri Southern State Lions. His former college teammate, Jeff Boschee, now in his 7th year as the head coach of the Missouri Southern State Lions. We'll preview the Lions, maybe take a peek at Pittsburg State, get into some individual efforts for the Washburn Ichabods. That's all coming up here with head coach Brent Ballard on the Washburn Coaches Show, live from Skinny's. At Skinny's Sports Bar, your food is fast, delicious, and friendly. Monday through Friday from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m., dine in at Skinny's for a cheeseburger and fries, just $5.49. Go on, it's better than that drive-thru. And every day of the week, there's a tasty special, like Fridays from 5 to 9. Dig into a chicken fried steak dinner or an 8-ounce sirloin steak dinner, each just $8. 16-ounce cans for just $2.75, also from 4 to 8. And come in anytime Saturdays for their famous wings, just $1 each. Skinny Sports Bar at Huntoon and Gage in Topeka.
Wendy's new classic chicken sandwich is now in the 2 for $5, and that's reason to celebrate. Try the new classic and then take your mouth on a victory lap with the iconic Dave Single, the delicious spicy chicken sandwich, spicy or crispy 10-piece nuggets, or just get another classic chicken sandwich. Taste greatness today with Wendy's 2 for $5. We got you.
For a limited time, a la carte only. Price and participation may vary. U.S. Wendy's. The All Angles Collision Repair Team is committed to their local Topeka community. Through their Mission Positive Impact program, they have repaired nonprofit service vehicles free of charge and helped local charities. All Angles on 6th Avenue in Topeka is your trusted hometown expert for paintless dent repair or major body work. We offer convenient online scheduling and claim assistance, and will stand by our work. Call or visit allangles.com to schedule your free consultation.
From All Angles.
Even though we don't know what life has in store for our homes or our autos, we can prepare. Introducing the Damage Doesn't Have to Be Too Damaging policy from American Family Insurance. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. For details, contact me, Brad Noller, agent, 785-273-7502, or stop by 3620 Southwest Fairlawn Road, Suite 230 today.
KTPK Topeka, Country 106.9.
Welcome back to Skinny's Sports Bar and Grill. Jake LeBon joining you here at Skinny's. Come on out again, Huntoon and Gage. Every single lunch special from 11 to 2 It is $5.49 cheeseburger and fries. You can sub the fries for tots if you like. Again, every single lunch day, you can order it. They'll take care of it. You come by, curbside pickup, works simple, works easy every single day, Monday through Friday, during the week, during lunch. Of course, you've got Taco Tuesdays tonight. This is the cheeseburger special on Wednesdays. Again, coming out here to Skinny Sports Bar and Grill. You got some Chiefs highlights going on right now on Sports Center. And again, on Sunday, when the Chiefs are playing the Cleveland Browns, great food, great drink specials every single time the Chiefs are on the schedule here at Skinny Sports Bar and Grill. As we bring back in head coach Brent Ballard of the 8th-ranked Washburn Ichabod's ranked 8th in the top 25 poll, 8-1 on the year, taking on Missouri Southern. I got to know, though, how are the kiddos excited for another Super Bowl run? See, they're already spoiled because did they get to go to the parade? Did they go there?
No,
it was really, really cold that day.
I know, it's in the middle of the season, too. It's a little bit difficult for me to get away. We saw the highlights.
No
parade, but they're fired up.
Are they fired up? I mean, they're spoiled already.
2 of my 3, my oldest is a Chiefs fan. My middle one's kind of a Chiefs fan, but my wife's family, I think I've told you this, are Cowboys fans, and he somehow,
oh no,
of all the teams in the NFL, it kills me. And so even for Christmas, he got a Cowboys shirt, and he's, and so it's funny because he's not a Chiefs fan, but once we win the Super Bowl last year, he kind of started coming around. I kind of like Patrick Mahomes, and I'm like, yeah, sure you do, buddy. And my daughter doesn't really know that much about it, but she knows Patrick Mahomes, and she'll ask about it. So yeah, we're excited. I was shocked that the Browns beat the Steelers.
Yeah.
I mean, I watched some of that, and that was crazy. Just got off to a crazy start, and I obviously think that's better for the Chiefs long run. I don't think the Browns can beat them, but.
I always wonder about like basketball coaches like yourself, because you guys put in so much work. The general public does not realize how much time you spend on film, practice schedules, practice, and all of that kind of stuff. And the playoffs are during the heat of battle for you guys. I mean, it's such a big deal. So are you able to catch a game here or there? And I know like this Sunday, you play Saturday. It's a home game. That works out nice. Will you be able to watch the game Sunday against the Browns? I know it's a 2:00 tip-off, and maybe you have practice Sunday. Sometimes you don't have practice on Sunday. Sometimes you do. It's tough for you. Whereas, for me, it's, hey, you know what? I know what I'm doing at 2 o'clock.
That's your job. You get paid to do that. I'm jealous. I should have been smart. I should have got into radio or stayed in radio. I got into a little bit of Haney, but I didn't stay in it. No, Sundays, I'll watch film, and we work on Sundays, usually from home. But, usually I can catch – I don't always catch all the Chiefs game, but especially in the playoffs, for sure, I'll be tuned in and at least watch part of it, if not most of it. Sundays are a day where we don't practice those days. We give our guys Sundays off.
So Sunday is the official day off, kind of?
Yeah, that's our day off during this time of year because of the way the conference schedule lines up. So I know we've got a lot of Chiefs fans amongst our guys on the team, so they'll be excited about it. I'm actually, the Browns are funny because I was telling our coaching staff, I was like, God, they're killing us because we preached to our guys how important practice is. And you got to practice right away. They don't practice all week and go out.
And the head coach isn't even there.
No, phenomenal. The head coach isn't there, which, makes me look like, why do we even need a head coach? So I was telling our coaching staff, I'm like, God, I'm glad they won, but they're killing us because, the guy's like, why do we need to practice, coach? The Browns didn't practice, and, they won a playoff game easily. But I also think I can flip it now, because we're a little beat up, and I'm going to kind of play the underdog role going into this week with some of our injuries and stuff like that. I'm going to tell you, look at what the Browns did.
Yeah.
They were kind of beat up and kind of
there's
injured.
The spin
so
factor there.
I'm going to spin this into the message that I want our guys to hear.
Okay. Oh, and speaking of the Chiefs, Washburn's game against Emporia State, again, the big turnpike tussle, was going to be on the 24th. The reason being is they've got the big high school tournament that's played at White Auditorium. That's not happening. It's not going to be at White Auditorium. So they're moving the game up. So the game was going to be on the 24th with a 1:30, 3:30 tip-off. Now it will be on the 23rd
Saturday, yep.
On a Saturday. And you don't have a game during the middle of that week. That's one of your weeks where you don't go Thursday, Saturday. It's just that Saturday game. So that'll be next Saturday on the 23rd, Washburn versus Emporia State on the road at Emporia. So I want to make that schedule note because, again, don't have to worry about the Chiefs and anything like that. It works out really, really well.
That's better for us. I I wasn't sure if they're going to play those high school tournaments, so I thought maybe that might happen. And I think it's a little bit better for us, and then better for everybody else because hopefully the Chiefs will take care of business and they'll be playing that day so we can check them out.
Exactly. Well, the Washburn Ichabods taking on the Missouri Southern State Lions, and boy, you and Missouri Southern have had some absolute battles in this series. Both teams, and they're always high scoring because both teams are so efficient shooting the basketball, and you get to go up against your former teammate, Jeff Boschee. Do you communicate with them during the year? I know it's tough because basketball coaches are so engrossed in their sport, but every now and then you might shoot them a text, hey, I saw you got a win here or something of that nature, and I know you guys go back, you were locker mates and everything like that, so do you still kind of keep in touch during the season?
Yeah, for sure. We text quite a bit during the year, just random stuff and checking in on each other and questions or whatever. And so during the year, quite a bit. During the season, not quite as much, but we'll text every once in a while, whether it's about a league opponent or just stuff in general. And not much this week. He texted me one thing this week asking a question, but Jeff's a great dude, was a great teammate, and he's done a heck of a job with that program. They, I think us, Northwest Missouri and Missouri Southern have been kind of the class of the MIAA here the last, since I've been in the league. We've had some big time games.
In the NCAA tournament.
Yeah, the tournament game was probably, if that was one of the most unique games I've ever been a part of. They made 22 threes, if I'm not mistaken.
I believe so. The score was 101 to 100.
They made, and we were down. They made 22 threes.
I believe you were down 18.
We had the ball, which in Javion Blake's hands, who I'd want that in his and with a chance to win the game. That was crazy. They played great, then we played great. It was a game of runs and in NCAA tournament games. So I wish it would have gone our way, but we've had some good ones. He's done a great job with this program. We've got a lot of respect for them, and they've had some really good players there.
When you look at it, not as good a record here early on. Missouri Southern 4-4. Now again, they graduated. I mean, they were legit really good last year. I mean, the MIAA had some fantastic teams last year. They lost a lot of guys. They're 4-4 on the year, but players in all of Division II. Cam Martin, he's averaging 26 points, 9 boards. The supporting cast, not as good as in the past, but boy, 26-9, he's the best big man maybe in the country.
Yeah, supporting cast not as good yet. They're kind of like we were last year, Jake. Last year we had graduated an incredible senior class, and we were pretty young and inexperienced last year. And that's kind of what they are this year. They've got a lot of new guys playing around Cam, and like you said, he's a monster. He's a stud. He's had some big games for us. He always plays well, but for whatever reason, we do a lot to try to slow him down. But he has had some really good games against us. He's tough because he can step out and make threes. He's good at the foul line, and he obviously can post up and score around the basket. A really special player, and I'll be happy when he graduates. That's for sure.
And I'm hoping he doesn't take this year back.
That's what I told Jeff. That was one of our texts. So me, Jeff, and Ben McCollum are on a text group, and we text each other. And we were talking about whatever, and I said, surely Cam's ready to be done with school. That guy, he's got to be ready to be done, and he's going to go play professionally overseas.
He definitely could because he's got the game because he can shoot the three.
He'll have a chance. He'll have an outside chance to maybe play in the G League or whatever they're calling it now. But for sure he'll be able to play overseas with the way he shoots it in his size. So that's why I text Jeff. I said, I'll represent him. I'll be his agent. But let's get him out of here because I'm tired of playing against that dude. He's good.
That is true. I got some connections. I can make this
hook
thing
him
work.
up. We'll get him a good job.
Final thing I got to get to you here. The wardrobe. Your former boss, Bill Self, spoke to the media in a Zoom call, and he was asked about, hey, you like the new rule, and he said, guys, I don't think I'm going to go back.
I love it.
I'm wondering, is that where we're at here? Because again, you and your coaching staff always wore suits, and you always looked so sharp.
Yeah,
you looked great, but Bill Self says, I don't think I'm going to go back.
I think you should respect the game on a certain level, and even when I go to church, I feel like there's a certain level that I respect that, and with basketball coaching, it was just kind of the norm, and I love it. I love the NBA bubble. I think kind of everybody saw that those guys were wearing polos and half zips in the NBA bubble, and I think that really kind of triggered it. And then with it being a COVID year, I saw a bunch of we kind of saw some coaches early on doing it in some preseason stuff. And so I was like, we're going to go to it. It seems like all the D1 guys are doing it. I'm a little down on some of my D2 brethren that are still wearing the ties and the suits. I'm like, what are you guys doing? Let's just
This is your chance.
I know. So I love it. I'm so much more comfortable. And again, nothing against wearing suit and tie. I just don't know that it makes a lot of sense when you're coaching basketball. I feel so much. I don't know what it is. It's
one of those. The only reason you did is because people did it before you.
Exactly.
There's no logic to it.
There's no logic to it. And again, people don't come to the game to see what the coach's outfit is.
Unless you're Jay Wright.
Well, Jay Wright's got it. He's probably down because he
Jay Wright, the coach of Villanova, for those of you who don't know,
yeah.
he spends some cashola on those.
He's high
puppies.
class. But I'm with Coach Self. I don't know that I'll ever, maybe on a senior night or, I'm worried though. Some of the D2 guys are still doing the suit and tie thing, and we may be the oddballs out, I guess, but I don't know that we'll go back to suit and ties. I think it looks I think it looks nice with the half zips or the polos and the slacks. And I know it's nice not having to pack a suit on the road and get a suit ready for games and all that. It's saved me some time. So I'm a huge fan.
There's only one negative to this, and Bill Self mentioned it. The dry cleaning companies.
I know I do feel bad about
that's
that.
it. That's about it.
I'll take some other clothing items over there and help them out. But yeah, I do feel bad about that. But I'm a big fan of the half zip.
I had to bring that up because Bill Self brought up. He's like, hey, I'm not going back. Who would have thought Bob Huggins ahead of his time? Well, Brent, we appreciate the time. Ichabod's ranked 8th in the country. Take on a Missouri Southern team. Again, 7:30 tip-off tomorrow at Lee Arena, and then on Saturday we'll take on Pittsburg State at 3 o'clock. Best of luck against the Lions and the Gorillas. You got some fierce mascots that you're going up against.
Thanks, Jake. Appreciate it. We'll see you tomorrow night.
That is head coach Brent Ballard of the Washburn Ichabods. Again, on the road beating the number 1 ranked team in the country a week ago from Thursday. Coming up next, we're going to talk with assistant coach Brent Herber. She'll be joining us because, well, when you deal with school and nursing and clinical, sometimes you have to move around practice a little bit. That's where the Washburn women are doing right now. They are practicing. So we're going to talk with the assistant coach of the Washburn women's basketball team, Brent Herber, coming up next here from Skinny Sports Bar and Grill.
The All Angles Collision Repair Team is committed to their local Topeka community. Through their Mission Positive Impact program, they have repaired nonprofit service vehicles free of charge and helped local charities. All Angles on 6th Avenue in Topeka is your trusted hometown expert for paintless dent repair or major body work. We offer convenient online scheduling and claim assistance, and will stand by our work. Call or visit allangles.com to schedule your free consultation.
We got you covered from all angles. Wendy's new classic chicken sandwich is now in the 2 for $5, and that's reason to celebrate. Try the new classic and then take your mouth on a victory lap with the iconic Dave single, the delicious spicy chicken sandwich, spicy or crispy 10-piece nuggets, or just get another classic chicken sandwich. Taste greatness today with Wendy's 2 for $5. We got you. For a limited time, on a card only. Price and participation may vary. U.S. Wendy's.
At Skinny Sports Bar, your food is fast, delicious, and friendly. Monday through Friday from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m., dine in at Skinny's for a cheeseburger and fries, just $5.49. Come on, you know it's better than that drive-through. And every day of the week, there's a tasty special, like Fridays from 5 to 9. Dig into a chicken fried steak dinner or an 8-ounce sirloin steak dinner, each just $8. 16-ounce cans for just $2.75, also from 4 to 8. And come in anytime Saturdays for their famous wings, just $1 each. Skinny Sports Bar at Huntoon and Gage in Topeka.
You're ready to get back into yoga, so you order the essentials. A non-slip mat, yoga blocks to keep balance, and an exercise ball. And you use your Bank of America Cash Rewards credit card, choosing to earn 3% cash back on online shopping and up to 5.25% as a preferred rewards member, which you put towards your most essential yoga gear. Noise-canceling headphones.
Welcome. Take a deep breath. Breathe.
Apply for yours at bankofamerica.com/more rewarding. Copyright 2020 Bank of America Corporation.
KTPK Topeka. Country 106.9.
Welcome back to Skinny Sports Bar and Grill, located at the corner of Huntoon and Gage here in the capital city of Kansas. Jake LeBon will joining you by the assistant coach of the Washburn women's basketball team, assistant coach Brent Herber. And the reason is somebody from the basketball team had to come and talk to us today. You're practicing as we speak right now at Lee Arena. Is it Lee Arena, or are we up in the upper gym right now?
Oh no, we're in Lee. We're in Lee. We got the indoor now, so everyone's just us in there.
No,
It's
gosh,
glorious.
how amazing is that? Well, we'll get to that here in just a little bit, but you have practice right now, and the reason why some people are like, well, why are you practicing at 6:30 at night? School's not even in set. You don't have school right now. School doesn't start till next week. And the answer to that is that when you have a nursing school that many people want to attend because it's really, really good, and you've got nurses who have to do these things called clinicals, you have to work around that. So
this is actually radiology tech kids. It's not even the nursing school. It's the applied science. So hers is even more advanced. She's doing even more clinical hours because it's a faster paced program.
Because she's really, really smart.
She's a pretty smart kid. But in this week for her, it is a makeup hour week so they can get ahead in hours. And obviously
and then are we allowed to say who it is? I don't
think it's a problem. It's Macy.
Macy Debley again.
Yeah.
Started for the Washburn team.
Their degrees are in their bio profile.
Okay.
So
Well, I don't want to put out anything that I don't need to.
No.
But Macy Debley again dealing with clinical. So and again, that's the crazy thing about this is she goes from clinicals from 8 in the morning until
7:30 to 5:30.
That's wild. And then it's not as if she's just sitting back talking on the microphone like I do. No, this is like
she's on her feet all day. She is actually ready because she's been doing the program long enough. She's doing actual x-rays. She's doing it already. So she was talking about telling us yesterday, which I probably can't. Well, we don't know the name. She was telling us about an elderly woman's x-ray she did and how her bone was completely crushed. And she was so cool. And I'm not a person that likes medical stuff. So I'm like, I don't need to know anymore. You're making me queasy.
And so she's done this whole week?
Yes, so all this week. She won't do it tomorrow on game day because of shoot around and stuff and to keep her off her feet. But yeah, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday, she'll do it all this week and it puts her ahead in a good place because unfortunately with COVID and their stipulations with these kids being in clinicals, they're very strict on the days they can go in. Well, of course, for her year and the next semester, her days are Tuesday, Thursday.
Oh.
So for her to
that's why she's getting these.
She's got to do it now.
Extra hours.
Our games that are rescheduled are on Tuesdays. When we're at home, she usually goes for half the day so she can get those hours in, and then she goes till noon and then comes to shoot around. She's done, and then she doesn't go back after shoot around. But she needs to get ahead in our hours because when we're on the road, there's no way she's going for any of the time because we're gone. So.
And the only game maybe would be like Emporia State, but that's on a Saturday, so that's not going to factor in.
Yep.
Now it's on a Saturday.
Now,
and for those of you remembering. The news was today that the Washburn basketball team on the 24th, the Sunday, is when Washburn is going to play Emporia on the road at White Auditorium. It is now going to be on Saturday, same times, 1:30 and 3:30 at White Auditorium. So the Washburn Ichabods will be in action tomorrow at 5:30 for the women, 7:30 for the men. Saturday, 1 and 3 o'clock tip-offs from Lee Arena against Pitt State. And then they're off that midweek game, and you take on Emporia State coming up on the 23rd. So that is what's going to be happening for the Washburn schedules. We're talking with assistant coach Brent Herber here of the Washburn women's basketball team. They're coming off an impressive win, holding the Griffins to just 49 points. But before we get to that game, you had gone over 21 days without playing a basketball game. The game against Lincoln on Saturday the 19th, postponed. Come back January 2nd against Northeastern, postponed. Come back January 7th against Northwest, postponed. My question for you is, and I was going to ask Ron McHenry this, did you forget how to coach during a game? That's the longest that Washburn has ever gone without playing a basketball game because
during the season.
During the season. I mean, it's almost as if like this is a completely different season for you guys with the amount of practices that you had. You maybe have had more practices before this game than you did before the first game this year.
Well, we did because we went into quarantine. So we literally have had more, and we hadn't even had a positive, and we went to quarantine for a contact tracing.
Mm-hmm.
And at that time, rules were a little bit different than what they are now. And with contact tracing, we wouldn't have had as many kids if we were following rules now. But of course, back in early October, that's what the rules were.
I mean, that's way back in the day.
Yeah.
I mean, that's essentially like 3 years ago.
I know, it feels like it. So we were able to get in, and what's been nice is, we've gone and had some shooting. Like we'll let them come in for 45 minutes just to get some shots up and that kind of stuff, and then we come back for practice, so they can focus on getting some individual work in more over this break than besides just a bunch of team stuff. So that's been good for them to get some experience in the gym that way. Some of those kids.
How important was it to get that win, though? You don't play for 23 days, and then you needed to get a win to get that, at least that competitive juices. and to feel good almost.
Yeah.
I mean, this was maybe more so just the mental side of things than anything.
Oh, I mean, totally. It was very mental, and it was one of those things that every week on Monday when you test, it's okay, are we going to get to play this week? Is it going to be us? Is it going to be our opponents? And we just need to get on the floor and play, and we need to get a win, like you said. I mean, we played the top of the conference right off the bat and had some tough games that we kind of lost early that we probably shouldn't have lost with some new kids on the floor, and we're learning. So we needed to get that win. It was good to get a win on a road against a pretty talented team, also kind of young and some new kids as well. But that's a tough place to go and play. Just obviously the men's game, there were some technical difficulties. We felt like we were having some of those. They actually had a bunch of statistical stuff messed up for ours and foul stuff. So it was just a good place to go and get a win. And how we came out ready to play was really good to see.
When Ron McHenry was talking about this game, he was worried about conditioning because you can practice. You don't practice like a game. Again, you don't play 40 straight minutes of basketball. You run them maybe 5-6 minutes at a time up and down the court because you're still teaching and trying to install some stuff. How did you think conditioning wise they were? And did you see that maybe, on Monday and Tuesday this week that, hey, they were a little bit tired, maybe more so than normal?
I didn't think as much. I thought we looked pretty good. I mean, actually, if anything, I thought we had a couple kids who early in the season who've usually been in pretty good shape and have looked good throughout. I mean, Hunter Bentley's played a lot of minutes her whole career here. And early in the season, I thought she just looked a little bit, her game shape wasn't there. And I thought she looked, obviously playing the point guard and playing against the press, her game shape looked pretty good. And same with Macy, she looked good. Abby always looks like she can play a whole game. Lauren Cassidy, same, always looks like she can play a whole game. So I thought we looked pretty good. And Hannah Willie always comes in and gives us great minutes, is a great kid off the bench. And I was a little worried maybe about some of our bench kids that maybe haven't had some minutes, but I didn't think we were too bad. Especially not having Aubrey. That's another kid we lost, and Hunter was having to play more minutes in that sense too. But this week will be probably more of the test because we have the 2 games. They knew they just had the 1 game that week, could give it all. You're not trying to save, not that you're trying to save anything during a game, but you got another game on Saturday. So we'll see how it goes this week because Aubrey's still not back, and trying to get some other kids to step up and play some minutes for us.
We're talking with assistant coach Brent Herber here on the Washburn Coaches Show live from Skinny's Sports Bar and Grill. Again, coming out to Skinny's on Tuesday, it's Taco Tuesdays, and Wednesdays it is the cheeseburger dinner special in the evening. But again, Monday through Friday, 11 to 2 here at Skinny's. Cheeseburger and fries, just $5.49. Again, coming out to Skinny's, you can call ahead. You'll order it. You can call them here. They'll deliver it to you. Curbside pickup works out great here at Skinny's Sports Bar and Grill. You win 61-49. I don't care who you're playing. If it's high school basketball, if it's college, what level. If you hold a team under 50 points, that's good. You held them to 49 points. What was the big reason holding them to under 40 or under 50 points?
Defensively, we've been pretty good this year. I felt like as a whole, I think average, I haven't looked at it. I haven't updated the stats. I think we're keeping people under 60 or 63 average on the year, so it's pretty good. I think we're one of the top in the conferences. This group, the kids that have been playing, the 7 or 8 that have been on the floor, have really bought into it defensively, and they've bought into the physical aspect of it, getting kids to the boards, running the floor. Our post players are great runners on the floor, but they've stepped up to that challenge. Macy averages 2 or 3 charges a game. Those things bring the positives that people don't see on the stat sheet or maybe don't even see in a game, the energy that helps bring. I'm a huge defensive person. That was my thing. So I think defense really leads to some great offense if you can keep that going.
Can you learn to like defense?
Can you learn?
Yeah. Can you learn to like it?
What did you play on phone? We know what side of the ball you were on.
I mean, the reason I say that is, you mentioned that this team likes defense.
Yeah.
I think you either like it or you don't. I think some people are not about the grind. I think some people are not about the rebounding and that type of thing. But in this situation, are the majority of them like that?
Yeah, I think they do. I mean, the first thing Coach Mack, we talk about Coach McHenry is toughness, and you got to have your tough kids are your defending kids, and the grind of defense. And for me, as a player, and I know for some of them, Hunter's really IQ smart. You almost love to mess with that offensive player that thinks they're going to get you. So that's where the game on the defensive end is even probably more within itself, So this team is that way. I mean, Macy plays that game, loving to get the charges. She does those things that just really bother maybe a good offensive player, gets people in foul trouble, by doing those little things. And this team's really kind of taken that role that they want to be a good defensive team and that they want to hold people down.
Well, they're going to have a tough task because the Missouri Southern State Lions, they have got some serious size We will preview Ronnie Russell's group. We'll talk about some individual performances for Washburn against Missouri Western. We'll get a quick time out here from Skinny Sports Bar and Grill. We'll wrap up the Washburn Coaches Show coming up next here on your home for Washburn Athletics, Country 106.9.
The All Angles Collision Repair Team is committed to their local Topeka community. Through their Mission Positive Impact program, they have repaired nonprofit service vehicles free of charge and helped local charities. All Angles on 6th Avenue in Topeka is your trusted hometown expert for paintless dent repair or major body work. We offer convenient online scheduling and claim assistance, and will stand by our work. Call or visit allangles.com to schedule your free consultation.
We have you covered from all angles.
At Skinny Sports Bar, your food is fast, delicious, and friendly. Monday through Friday from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m., dine in at Skinny's for a cheeseburger and fries, just $5.49. Come on, you know it's better than that drive-through. And every day of the week, there's a tasty special, like Fridays from 5 to 9. Dig into a chicken fried steak dinner or an 8-ounce sirloin steak dinner, each just $8. 16-ounce cans for just $2.75, also from 4 to 8. And come in anytime Saturdays for their famous wings, just $1 each. Skinny Sports Bar at Huntoon and Gage in Topeka.
Wendy's new classic chicken sandwich is now in the 2 for $5, and that's reason to celebrate. Try the new classic and then take your mouth on a victory lap with the iconic Dave's single, the delicious spicy chicken sandwich, spicy or crispy 10-piece nuggets, or just get another classic chicken sandwich. Taste greatness today with Wendy's 2 for $5. We got you.
For a limited time, a la carte only. Price participation may vary. That's Wendy's.
Wife Tammy dishes the mobile phone. Husband Gary uses his pivot foot, goes behind the back for that easy mobile deposit. That's money in the bank. Jody runs point, gets the green light, and takes the inside lane for a drive-through business deposit. No one can stop money in the bank. Johnny's coming off the bench, uses that True Blue debit card at the ATM. Easy layup with that check deposit for what? Money in the bank. Whether you're dropping dimes, going downtown, or just need one-on-one, Capital Federal will always help you put money in the bank. Capital Federal, Equal Housing Lender, member FDIC.
KTPK Topeka, Country 106.9.
Welcome back to Skinny Sports Bar and Grill here at the corner of Huntoon and Gage in the capital city. Jake Levon with you on the Washburn Coach Show. Again, your home for all things Washburn Athletics, Country 106.9 and mycountry1069.com. Talking with assistant coach of the Washburn women's basketball team, Brent Herber here, finishing this edition of the Washburn Coaches Show. And Washburn, of course, in action tomorrow against Missouri Southern, Saturday against Pittsburg State. And then on Tuesday, the Washburn women have a makeup game at home at Lee Arena against the Lincoln Blue Tigers coming up on Tuesday of next week. So they are going to be a very, very busy basketball team. But the Washburn women, again, coming off a win 61-49 over the Missouri Western State Griffins. And Hunter Bentley somehow did not earn Player of the Week. And that's kind of interesting to me because she goes for 27 points, 2 off a career high, 9 rebounds. She played 38 minutes in the game, and she pretty much did everything. Oh, by the way, she played a position that she says she's never played before.
No, in her career.
In her career. She goes, Jake, I've never dribbled the basketball that much in my entire life. When I talked to her in the post game, Hunter Bentley, the 5'9" senior, is technically a 3 would be my guess. If we're going to give him 1, 2, 3s, and 4, she's a 3, but she's played the 4, and with
she's playing the 2 this year because we got Maria.
Yeah. And so it's like, okay,
but now
well,
she's playing the point.
Now Hunter, go play the point, and she was terrific at it. Yeah. She got everybody involved, and Hunter Bentley's one of my favorite players. She does everything right. She never gets tired. At least it looks like she never gets tired. And she's just so
She would be staring at you right now like, Jake, I get tired.
She's not the most athletic player, but she gets her shot off. She shoots the 3. She is 9. She almost averages a double-double. I can't say enough good things about Hunter Bentley.
Yeah, she's a great kid, great person. Even on and off the court, comes from a great family. Her brother attends Washburn as well on the football team. Can't say enough good things about Hunter, and she literally steps into whatever role we ask of her and does it with ease. We didn't have to make adjustments to move her over to the point. And that's a testament to the rest of the team, too, as we threw in Mackenzie Gamble, who hadn't really stepped on the floor, and put her in at the 2. And I think it was easier for Mackenzie because a player like Hunter was on the floor to help her, and Abby's really stepped up into a more of a leadership role and is communicating better. But Hunter's just been great, and she's so smart. Her basketball IQ is very high, one of the highest basketball IQs I've coached in my career, and she understands coaches talk, and so that's what you want all point guards. She's not a point guard, but you want all your point guards to be like that. So it was very easy to transition her into the point guard role.
And you can tell she's becoming more of a vocal leader here now that she's the big dog. I mean, she's a senior right now.
Yep.
And again, she might come back next year. We don't even know yet. We'll have to wait and see. But she shoots the three well. I mean, she just does everything. And then I think Hunter and Nuria are a great compliment. And Nuria didn't have as many opportunities because of the zone. It's hard to deal against the zone. They played zone the entire game. And Nuria is a slasher and can get into the lane. She grabbed 12 rebounds, but she had 9 points. And those two just seem to feed off each other really, really well.
Yeah, they do a good job. It's been fun to watch them play together because they're different types of players that do different things well. And so it's good to see them. And Nuria is so long. I think we have her listed at 5'11", but I bet her wingspan's close to 6'1". She goes and gets rebounds and makes moves that I don't know. It almost looks like a guy on the floor sometimes, some of the stuff she does. So it's really fun to see them play together. We kind of haven't had a 2-3 combo like that in a while, even in that size range. So it's been fun to have kids like that on the floor.
The final player I want to discuss, Abby Oliver, tied a career-high 12 points, also had 6 boards in the game. And if you look at it, the last couple of games, Abby has played very, very well. What seems to be the difference here as of late?
Confidence for her. It's one of those things we preach to her in practice. And two, I mean, last year we all saw the potential Abby had, and you would forget at times she's only a freshman, right?
Well, plus she missed half the year with injury.
And that was the second half of the year. So I think for her coming back, it was getting used to being on the floor again and that confidence building, and she's finally got in. And in practice, like I said, if you were in practice, it's a totally different Abby. She's a vocal leader on the floor. She's what was nice, and I know Aubrey, some of our veteran or younger kids coming in, she would be helping them run plays up the floor because she knew. I mean, her basketball IQ is very high as well. Testament to Alma Bunsey, where she came from, and even her family with their basketball. And she would be calling plays from the 5 position and what they should be running. So she's really stepped up to that vocal role, and it's been good for her, and it just helps her confidence.
It's kind of funny. Sometimes a person off the court who could be a little shy and quiet, when you put them on the court, completely different. Because Abby's not the one who she won't chat your ear off off the court.
I mean, she does with us because she's around us every day. But no, she's gonna be quiet and respectful and that kind of thing. It's kind of like Reagan Phelan. We all know Reagan Phelan, and Reagan.
It's a different type of person.
Different type of person.
Totally different. So we're talking with assistant coach Brent Herber, and they're practicing right now. So as of right now, it's 6:52. You started practice at what time? 5:30.
Sometimes they did a weight session, kind of recovery weights at 4:15. Went into film at 5, and about 5:40 we stepped on the floor to get going.
Okay,
so
and then
I went to a little. I've been there, and I'll probably go back.
Okay, that was my question. So if it is right now, it's 6:52. What's Ronnie Mack yelling at right now?
Oh, I bet they're dry running our offenses right now. They were doing some of their shooting drills. I bet they're dry running, and it's
So that's just running your offenses on air, right?
Yeah, just on air. No defense.
Sometimes you got to do that to refresh the mind a little bit.
And that's what it's. You know what? He's done that since I was there. So that is, how
Can't
many
teach
times.
an old dog new tricks sometimes.
But that's what you got to do. I mean, we have enough new kids too. A refresher of plays is they need to do it. I mean, and we'll do some of it a little bit tomorrow to shoot around too. The stuff that we know we're going to use against Missouri Southern, that kind of thing. But it's good for those kids to get to do it and go over it. And we have kids playing multiple positions, so they know they got to rotate into spots. So yeah, I bet they're doing that. And probably by the time I get back, they'll be doing scout.
Except Hunter Bentley, she doesn't even need to do anything.
No, she just kind of she can step in.
You say, Hunter, we don't even need you to practice right now. The only reason Hunter practices is so that she can stay, the conditioning aspect. Otherwise, Hunter, we don't need you right now.
Yeah, she gets it. I could probably draw up a play and just say, this is what you need to do, and she could go do it without walking through it. So we actually got a couple kids like that.
So practice will go until what time?
Probably about 7:30 tonight. By the time they finish getting their
Man, that's
done,
a long day for Macy. Holy cow!
Yeah, because I'm sure she was up by 6:30 at least to get going and get out there. So luckily she'll be able to sleep in tomorrow, and they get to shoot around. And
how hard do you go today? So you play tomorrow?
Like you don't want to go 5 on 5 or anything like that. And some of their shooting drills, not like. But when they're dry running, we want them to go game speed. You got to practice game speed. I mean, you practice like you play. Age old saying, right? So we have them going game speed for their dry runs.
We're talking with assistant coach Brent Herber here at Skinny Sports Bar and Grill. Again, coming out on Sunday. Chiefs in action against the Browns. It's a 2 o'clock start time at kickoff. And again, coming out to Skinny's, great food and drink specials every single time the Chiefs are playing. And then hopefully they'll be playing on the 24th as well. And again, Washburn will not be playing on the 24th. They're going to be playing on the 23rd at Emporia against Emporia State. That game got moved up one day, 1:30, 3:30 tip-offs from White Auditorium. All right, Brett, you take on the Missouri Southern Lions. And this is a Lion team that has been in pretty much every single game. The games that they lost, they've been close. And this might be the biggest team you face. Maddie Stokes, who is a good player, 6'3", and you talk about, Nuria's length. Maddie Stokes' length is longer than 6'3". She is long. Zoe Campbell at 6'3". Carly Turnbull, one of their guards at 5'10". Like, this is a much bigger team and maybe the biggest team that you guys are going to face.
Yeah, I mean, everyone talks about how big UCM is across the board, but Southern definitely has the height advantage probably across the whole conference because they don't just have one big at 6'3", they have two. They even have a young kid on the bench that doesn't play in perimeter at 6'1". So they're probably one of the biggest team. One of their kids, that's Skiles, number 5, she's played a 4 the whole career there, and now they're big enough. She's playing a 3, so kind of like what we did with Hunter, we got bigger and we moved her up the line.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, they're a real big group, long. They've been in every game they played, even the ones with, we were kind of in that same boat. We had some games that we blew down the end and that kind of thing. So it's going to be a test tomorrow, and it's going to be a different test than what we had last Saturday, and we're going to have to be able to adjust to it.
You're not the biggest team. I mean,
no, we're not. We're bigger than we have been.
Yes, but when you look at going up against those type of individuals, do you practice things differently? I mean, you can say it, but sometimes you need to practice it, and sometimes you can practice as much as you can. But going up against 6'3", you can't simulate that.
Yeah, in years past, we would maybe bring in some practice squad or some of our GA football players, but not doing that with COVID, so it's not happening. Mike Miller in the crowd over there and Matt Hutchinson, we've actually brought them in to play against us, but we can't do that anymore right now with COVID testing and stuff. So, yeah, it's been interesting to simulate. We have Kimber Rhodes, and she actually missed a little bit early, and she actually brings a little bit of game like the Stokes kid, and we're actually hoping to maybe see something out of her this week a little bit. She's a bigger body for us, and she's been simulating, done a good job for that in practice. But our principles are going to be the same. We're going to guard like we do. Toughness is what we're going to have to do on the defensive end. We're going to have to keep those kids off the block, keep them in front of you, use our physicality, which we're a pretty strong group. I wouldn't say their post players really like to get down big and post you, so we're going to have to keep them off the block, and we'll be all right.
Well, then you take on Pittsburg State on Saturday, and it kind of
a whole
different team on Pitt State. I mean, they're going to shoot 35 threes.
Well, they have two players that have got up 135 and 138, and the next closest is 60 in 9 games. So
just to let you know, okay, they've put up. Who shot the most threes on your team?
I'm gonna go with Hunter.
Hunter Bentley shot 38, and Kayla DeMitz and Tristan Gegg have put up over 100.
Yeah, Tristan Gegg gets up almost 8 a game.
That's remarkable.
So yeah, and I think they each get up almost.
Can you imagine if you shot 8 threes a game for Ron McHenry?
I don't know if I would have been allowed to. I don't think there was ever a game I shot more than 5, Jake, and that was like maybe against the zone. I let JB and Corky, and I played with Amanda Fessenden and Stevie Schultz. That's what they did.
But even them, they wouldn't put up this many threes.
I mean, it's just a different basketball game. We were a lot more grind. It's much more of a grind game back
then.
Go ahead
and say it. Back in your day.
Back in my day. I know it's
been
my
day when I used to be able to.
Now I'm pregnant and definitely in my 30s. It's not happening.
Yeah, kiddo number 2 on the way.
Kiddo number 2.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
So, do you remember, being pregnant and coaching? Is it all coming back to you? How much more of a how much more tougher it is?
Tired. Yeah, it's fine. I'm busy, so that probably helps. I was real sick early, so it's kind of kept me. I just got to go. I got to do it. Coach Mack was out with his back surgery, and it was okay. You got to step up to the plate. That's what you got to do. You're going to go to work every day. Here we go. So, it's been fine. I'd rather be sick during season because that means that I'm not having a kid during pregnant during season because I'm not having a kid during season. Yeah. So I'm not going to miss any games or anything. There we go. So.
Well, we wish you the absolute best with you and the little one, as well as Grayson as well.
Yep.
Well, we appreciate the time. Best of luck against Missouri Southern tomorrow, and then on Saturday against Pitt State, and then on Tuesday against Lincoln. You're going to be busy.
Busy. Yep.
Best of luck.
Thanks, Jake.
That is the assistant coach of the Washburn women's basketball team. That is Brent Herber, and that will do it here from Skinny Sports Bar and Grill. The next time we'll talk to you will be on Wednesday. Again, all the Washburn Coach Show on Wednesday of this year, 6 to 7 o'clock. Coming up tomorrow, 5:15 pregame coverage right here on your home for Washburn Athletics, Country 106.9, mycountry1069.com. Saturday, 1 o'clock and 3 o'clock coming up as Washburn will be taking on Pittsburg State. And then Tuesday for the women's only game against Lincoln at 5:30. So that will be the schedule coming up here for the Washburn Ichabod. So for head coach Brent Ballard, assistant coach Brent Herber, I'm Jake Vaughn saying so long from Skinny Sports Bar and Grill. We'll talk to you tomorrow for Washburn basketball.